Was there a particular point where you started to realize these different things while you were in grad school? Or is like literally all of this just reflection looking back? Like in that transition between being an undergraduate to being a graduate student, did you come to like realize some of these things and did it kind of advance you forward as a graduate student?
That's a really good question, or questions. So that's kind of like a two-parter. So yes, I realized it during it. I just didn't really think I knew what to do because it's all happening in live time. So you're just kind of rolling with the punches and not necessarily doing what you know you should be, but you're like, I'm just so tired. I just need like a 2-hour nap. Let me get up, take a nap real quick, and then go back to work. Or, you know, and like for me, as I've gotten older, I've gotten more into fitness and health. And I think I didn't even mention that, but that kind of helped me, I think, more back then also was, when you're in college, you don't necessarily eat well. You don't. You just try to eat quick and get to the next part of your day. So that's something that I wish I had adapted earlier is eating well because it does affect your mood. But going back to the question, did I notice any of that when I was in graduate school? Like, yes. I just didn't know I didn't really know how to execute that. So like, I know my brain was being overworked and I'd be working for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, but I didn't know it was okay to stop and take a break. I would just try to push through. If I knew I was tired, I was like, okay, I just have to push through these next 2 or 3 hours. But like, I knew I was tired. I just don't think that I knew that it was good for me to stop.
So looking back, right? So if you were talking to yourself in grad school, would you have said it's okay? Or do you think
Yeah.
that
And that's a part of my personality I think I've gotten I've realized with time too, is I'm very type A. I always have to-do lists. I always have things to achieve every single day. And I feel guilty if I don't reach my goals every day or every few years I have goals. Like I said to myself, every 4 or 5 years I have a goal. If I don't have steps to have that goal reached, I feel guilty, which is kind of weird, And so back then when I was in graduate school, I would say, I can't take a break and go do this because I haven't done this yet. And I would feel like I'm not being productive, or I'd feel like I don't deserve this time because I haven't finished this yet. Like I had the phrase like, work hard first before you play in my mind, but that's not a healthy mindset. What should be encouraged is work and then take a break and then come back and you'll feel more refreshed. Because if you just work, like I said, you're going to burn yourself out and you're not going to be productive. You're going to be, unproductive, if anything. And so that's something I probably didn't do because I probably felt guilty. But from learning about children and how the brain works and, how important it is for kids to take breaks, adults also need to. Because like I realize now working from home, so right now I'm a teacher and I'm working and teaching virtually and remotely with e-learning programs. It's hard for me to just sit on the computer and do work all day because I'm so used to moving and talking and working with small groups or teaching the whole class or working one-on-one with my students or in meetings with my administration, or like I'm never just sitting in one place because I'm so used to moving. And so even for me as an adult, I can't imagine just sitting and not moving all day. And that's what I used to do in grad school. I would just sit on my couch or sit on my kitchen table at the kitchen table and just work and type and read. And, it's just so unhealthy because I just would feel guilty if I didn't. I would feel like I'm not being productive. I need to keep doing this until I'm done,
Yeah. And actually I once again completely can agree with and understand because I went through the same thing. And that it took me some time to, I want to say the first 2 years of grad school before I realized that I cannot keep going like this. Like, I have to take breaks. I have to listen to my body. I have to stop.
Honor what
And
your needs and what you need.
And the culture, I think the current culture of graduate school is this work, 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 and get it done and just work through. And part of the reason why I have these conversations and even have this YouTube channel is to make it more commonplace that you can take a break. You don't have to work and work and work. Like, you can take a breather and come back to it, because it is more beneficial to take a break from something and then come back with a fresh mind than just work straight through for 5 to 6 hours. Because by the time you get to the end, you may not be as fresh on ideas, or you may not be interpreting things the correct way. You're more likely to make more mistakes.
And that's what I completely agree. And I was also going to say, you're not going to retain, you're not going to learn. And the whole point of being in graduate school not only is to pose questions and to research what you want to know more about, but it's to learn and apply that knowledge in whatever your career field is going to be. And so what is the point in doing research if you're not going to remember any of it? And you can't remember any of it if you're not resting, if you're not taking yourself and giving yourself some grace. And that's the thing I've even learned, even as I've gotten older, is to give myself grace in progress over perfection. So I love staying busy even now. And so with me being a teacher, like I said, I also, I haven't CF actually, but I also work as a bar instructor, BARE. It's like a fitness kind of movement right now. It's a combination of Pilates, ballet, and yoga. And so I work for a company, it's called Bar 3. And I, before all the Corona stuff, made recommendations on closing all of the fitness studios. I would work 4 to 6 times a week even, teaching Bar 3. And one of their mantras is progress over perfection, which basically means give yourself grace. Whatever part in your fitness journey that you're in, you're there, you're making progress. There's no perfect body that you should be striving for. It's all about how do you feel in your body and doing what your body needs and honoring your body. And that's something I try to take in every part of my aspect of my life, is that mantra, progress over perfection. So with me being so type A and always trying to make sure everything's perfect in my sense, like what I think is perfect, but there really is no perfect. And so, like I said, going back to graduate school, I always wanted to do things perfectly and get them done and just hash it out until it was done, like we just mentioned. But you're not able to retain anything because you're not honoring your body. Your body is meant to be mobile. You're meant to move. You are meant to focus on breathing deep breaths in to refresh and reset your mind. You are meant to take breaks and do what you enjoy doing to calm your stress levels down. Whether that's drinking tea or retail therapy, whatever you enjoy doing, that helps calm you and center you. That's what you're supposed to do at least once every day. And there would be weeks where I wouldn't do anything but work or watch TV or, research. And that's just not healthy. So.
Yeah.